Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? Hi, Shawana. Yay, I'm so happy you're here. Okay. So, I'm going to show you our live bundle for tonight. I'm going to show you some of the products we're going to add to our live bundle to create our project today, and we're going to have fun. I have a whole roll of paper towels here because we're gonna make a bit of a mess. All right, so the first product that is in the bundle for tonight is the Playful Patterns 6x6 paper collection. Hi, Karen. It's so good to see you. This Playful Patterns is part of the Friendship release, and it is one of my absolute favorite paper pads that I think Brutus Monroe has ever released. I absolutely love it. I love these colors. I love these patterns. You can tell that there's like a lot of papers missing from this paper pad because this is mine that I use in my house and I love it. Hi, Walter. Alex is here. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Karen. Hello, everybody. So, Playful Patterns is part of the bundle for tonight. And then there are 3 different colors of cardstock. We're going to use all 3 tonight. So there is buttercream cardstock, cabbage cardstock, pink lemonade. And then we have the UR stamp set, the Fabulous Florals standalone dies. I use these dies all the time. I love them. There is a package of weaving strips in the bundle, and then the heart hands cutting die. And then there are 3 colors of Chroma Mist: Bumblebee Yellow, Pink, and Mint. In addition to these products that are in the bundle, I am also going to go ahead and pull in a couple of Brutus Monroe items from my stash to help us put our card together quick and easy. One of those things is a 6x6 card base. So we're going to be making a 6x6 card. If you need envelopes for these and you want to get them pre-made, they're pretty easy to find. I did look online to make sure like you could easily get 6x6 envelopes to be able to mail this size card, and indeed you can. This is a pre-scored, pre-cut card base from Brutus Monroe. It's made of nice heavy cardstock. It's beautiful. Whereas the you can also use, if you're a 12 by 12 scrapbooker, this is also a great just 12 by 6 and score it in half. I forgot to shut my door so you can hear my dog. Just a second. That was Andre. Andre says hello. Obviously. So I'm going to pull in one of these card bases. I'm going to pull in some fiber paper. If you have never played with our fiber paper before, it is so much fun. So we're going to start with that. And then, of course, we're going to pull in things like foam tape and gems, you know, the normal stuff. Yes, Alex says, ooh, this is going to be spring flavored. Perfect, given we just went into spring here down under. Correct. This whole kit is very spring, summer. Summer does not end until September 20th. All of you pumpkin loving people. Do we have pumpkin loving people here? I am not a pumpkin loving person. I don't like pumpkin flavored anything. I like apples, but I don't like pumpkin. I'm sorry. Hi, Dawn. So nice to see you tonight. Okay, so let's talk about fiber paper for a minute. I'm going to pull this up so you can kind of see. It's this fun paper, so it is kind of see-through, and you can see all that like fabric-y kind of look to it. Super, super fun. You can do all kinds of fun things with this paper. We are going to spray it with color and then die cut it tonight. So I'm going to start with the yellow. Yes. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, actually, I did know you can make your own 6x6 envelopes with the Memory Keepers envelope maker because I have one. What I didn't know was that Bruce Monroe has them in their shop. Okay, this is Bumblebee Yellow. You can see we have, I spray this very liberally because it will absolutely 100% fade as it dries, which you're going to see here in a minute because I have prepped my cards tonight. But yes, We Are Memory Keepers envelope maker is lovely. I have one and it comes in handy quite often. I brought a whole roll of paper towels upstairs because I always end up making a mess and then not being able to quickly clean it up. And I wanted to be able to quickly clean it up. So there is the Bumblebee Yellow. Now this is what it looks like when you first spray it. And then this is what it looks like when it's all dry. So I have some already dried and ready for us to play with and die cut with. So there's the yellow. And then we have the pink, which is the second color that is in our bundle for tonight. So what has everyone been up to today? Anything fun? Oh, we're going to have fireworks, and I'm hoping, really, really hoping they kind of stay off in the distance and that they are not right here. Sometimes my neighbors shoot them off illegally in my road. So let's hope they don't do that. This is the pink. So see how it gets splotchy here when you spray it? It does not stay blotchy like that. So this is what it looks like wet and blotchy, but this is what it looks like when it is dry. So you can see the difference here. You still get the more saturated and the more lighter areas, but you don't get the heavy blotchiness after it dries. So I'm going to pull this up, put it over here to dry, and then we're going to do the mint. Have you guys seen, our host here just posted the Stencil Palooza. So let's talk about that a little bit. Stencil Palooza, they are releasing a stencil every day in September. Yesterday, one was released called Shark Tank. The one for today is, I want to say Swirly Tree. I hope I remembered that correctly. But that's what it is. It's like a swirly tree. It's very beautiful. And the shark one is really cool too. So here's our last mist color for tonight. And that is mint. So let's get mint here. This is, I'm not afraid to get my fingers in here and kind of get some of this. Again, this will dry and it will fade out. Now the green that I have over here, when I was prepping this card, I mixed up the Chroma Mist colors and I sprayed my already dry fiber paper with the yellow green and not the mint. So I'm going to let that mint dry. It doesn't take very long. By the end of our hour, it'll be dry. So then I'll be able to show you what it looks like when it dries, but we will have to use one that's sprayed with the yellow green for our projects tonight, because I didn't realize that I had flip-flopped the colors until I was getting ready to go live. That's okay. Jamie says she had to buy the stencil bundle. Yeah, I mean, buying the stencil bundle would probably be the best way to go about it. Spiral tree. Thank you, Shirley, very, very much. I could picture it in my head, like I knew what it looked like, but I couldn't remember what the name of it was. Okay, so here are our 3 fiber paper colors all dried. Now remember, this is yellow, green, Chroma Mist. That was my bad because I flip-flopped the colors. So we're going to go ahead now and we're going to die cut ourselves some flowers. So I have some extra cards to show you today too. I have some that I made separate from this evening. All right. I have made these flowers multiple times with the fiber paper. So I've die cut the fiber paper multiple times. I've played with them multiple times. I'm going to say I'm pretty good with this. In my experience, now I just know what I know. There are way smarter people than me. But there are 2 ways that these die cut really nicely. The first way that these die cut really, really nicely is if you have, and I'm not sure if it's in the shop or not because I forgot to look before I went live, is if you have the die release sheets from Brutus Monroe, those work really, really good for die cutting these fiber papers. So if you have that die release paper and you want to just die cut the fiber paper, those die release sheets work fabulous with die cutting the fiber paper. The other thing that I have found that works really, really good is when you die cut the fiber paper, put a pattern behind your fiber paper. When you die cut them, it will die cut through the fiber paper and through the pattern paper. So you'll end up with getting like 2 die cuts out of 1 pairing. But it really helps to die cut both of these together. So I'm going to cut for each of the flowers we're going to build. I'm going to cut all of the little daisy flowers, and I'm going to cut a center. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to alternate. So each pass of my die cut machine is going to get me 2 flowers. I hope that makes sense. So let me grab, for tonight's die cutting, let's pull out the mini cutter. We'll do my little, so that's going to be super helpful. So we can cut this. So what has everyone done today? I have done no crafting. This is the first time I am creating anything today, which is pretty unusual. I have a friend, he is in his 80s, and he is the biggest gardener. So every year when everything comes in from his garden, he tends to start dropping off vegetables at my house. So this year he did Roma tomatoes, and he brought me 2 gigantic containers of Roma tomatoes. So I spent all day today making tomato sauce, which is one of the few things that I put up every year and can actually make. I make tomato sauce and applesauce. And I also shred zucchinis and freeze the shredded zucchini. Okay, let's get our flowers done here. So then I'm just going to move it over to this side. Move the dies right over. And there you go. It cuts through both layers, and it cuts really nice and easily. And then you can separate them, and you end up with 2 flowers for 1 pass with the die cut machine. So that is just my little die cutting trick for die cutting with the fabric paper. I feel like when you just put the fiber paper through without either the die release sheets or without another piece of cardstock, the fiber paper wants to not cut cleanly. It tends to try to cut with like the little fibers sticking out. But whenever I do it like this with the fiber paper and then a piece of pattern paper, then it cuts much cleaner. I am so excited you got the bundle, Jamie. That's awesome. Okay. So let's separate out all of these. And I'm just going to cut oodles of flowers. I'm going to go flower crazy. Because why not? Winter is almost here. Fall is almost here. We're going to have to start thinking about projects that don't include flowers. And I am a flower person, that makes me sad. So 1 piece of this fiber paper will get you 2 of these flowers. Since we're putting the cardstock, putting the pattern paper underneath, we're going to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4. End up with about 8 to 10 flowers when we're all done, which is very good. Hi, Ellen. I'm just catching up here on all of the conversation. It's very important. I don't want to miss any of your comments, so I'm trying to multitask. Ooh. So that one's pretty much done. And this one's done. And then I can get some smaller flowers out of the yellow. And we have multiple sizes. Ellen says, Sarah, my husband has been listening to you and he just piped up. What is she saying? That winter is coming? Well, I mean, we're getting there. Not quite yet. We have a whole season to get through before winter comes, which is good because I don't. Spring and fall are my favorites. I don't hate winter, and I do love peaceful snow. What I don't like is leaving the house when it snows. I mean, if it's going to snow, great, but I think there should be things should just automatically be canceled if it snows. That should just be a rule. I think if that happens, more people would move to Pennsylvania. What? We get guaranteed time off if it snows. Okay. There we go. So we don't need as many leaves as we did flowers. Ellen says she thinks her husband's been watching reruns of Game of Thrones. So, true story. I've never watched Game of Thrones. I don't know why necessarily. I've just never read the books. I never watched it. We have the streaming service it's on. I see, the little commercials or memes and all that stuff for it, but just never got around to it, I guess. So in this die set are a couple of different leaves. I went ahead and got them all. And the leaves are, oh, there we go. Go. Very pretty. Shirley asks, what die cut machine are you using? So I have a Anna Griffin Mini Empress. Is an electronic one. It's small. It doesn't take, you have to use small dies with it for sure. And they make a full size one as well. I like this one because it fits right here on my desk. And I have a larger manual one for larger dies. But this, I will say, this particular die cut machine is a beast. I mean, I've had it for quite a long time. And the plates last forever. And it's never given me even a little bit of problem. Unlike some other machines I've had. And then I do have a manual one. So if I want to use my glimmer machine or I want to do something that requires a larger area to die cut on, I use that one. Alex says, I don't even know what Game of Thrones is about. So Game of Thrones is like, I don't know. I don't really know what it's about either, actually. Yes, you need the fiber paper. This stuff is pretty amazing and awesome. Agreed. Okay, let's get this in here. And we'll separate these all out, and then we'll start gluing flowers together. And then we can put our card together. So the main, I've already kind of pre-cut and pre-die cut the other part of our layout or our card for today. I just have to do the leaves because I wanted to show you the trick with the fiber paper. Well, my trick with the fiber paper. Okay, put this in here. Heather says the rainbow on your desk is so pretty. Thank you. Isn't it pretty? I love these flowers, Heather. I love, love, love them. You were the one that talked me into them and said, you need these flowers. And she's so right, because this is like definitely one of my top 5 favorite die sets from Brutus Monroe. This is like such a go-to for me. I absolutely love them. So we'll pop this in here, turn that off and get it off my desk. And we'll start putting all of this fun together. So we've got some yellow flowers, we've got some pink flowers, we've got some leaves. This is why we are doing a 6x6 card tonight, because I want so many flowers on my card. So to glue these together, we grab some wet glue and we'll start assembling them. I was away this past weekend. I got to go scrapbook with a bunch of my friends, and I am not completely unpacked yet. I thought I was unpacked enough that I had my glue out. Apparently, that would not be the case. So we're going to use this because it's handy and I know that it will work for what I need it to. Okay. Catch up on our lovely... Mary says she loves to cut out flowers like that in bulk. Yes, I cut out flowers in bulk all the time. Ellen asks, I came in a little bit late. Did you color the fiber paper or did it come in those colors? Okay, so I colored the fabric paper with, so part of the Bunches of Flowers bundle for tonight is 3 shades of Chroma Mist. So in the bundle, we have mint, bumblebee yellow, and pink. And so I just took a piece of the fiber paper. It comes like this. It's white. And you just mist it pretty liberally and then let it dry completely. And it dries back, so it dries later than when you first put it on. So if you want it to be like a nice, be a pretty saturated color pretty well. So I just colored them with the Chroma Mist, and then I die cut them. All right, so my plan for these flowers is we're going to stack them so that we have every other. So we have one with the pattern paper, one with the fiber paper, one with the pattern paper, one with the fiber paper. And then same with the tops. So they will just stack up like that, right? Make sure I get the layers right here. Yeah. Okay. Alexa, stop it. Also, you don't need wet glue. You can also get these to stick with dry tape runner. Sometimes the wet glue wants to soak in, so doing it with a tape runner is just as good an option. So we're just going to layer our flowers all up. Now we're going to put them over here to dry. And I'm just going to alternate between the fiber paper die cuts and the pattern paper. And these are the two smaller ones. I did those because I want to be able to have some flowers that are different sizes. I don't want them all to be the big size. I want them to be a small size. And then we're going to put all of our leaves over here because we don't need to do anything with them but stick them down. And then we're going to talk about our hands because those hand dies. I will never be as surprised as I was that those hand dyes are still in stock. Let me just say. The fact that they aren't completely sold out, just I don't understand it, but I'm going to show you, I'm going to make a card with them, but then I'm also going to show you another card project that you could do with them. Because they're so good. And if you need more inspiration with those hand die cuts, just check out our design team. Because the Bruise and Root design team has been playing with those hands a lot too. And we have found some pretty awesome things to do with them. Okay, so quick and easy, done. Lots of flowers. The middle on that one moved on me. There we go. Okie dokie. So we're going to let these over here for a minute because I want to talk about the hand dies. So these are called the Heart Hands Cutting Dies. And they die cut. So they also die cut like a little heart image and all the little pieces for inside the heart. And then they die cut these hands. And so the idea behind the hands is that they make, you know, a little heart. Who does that? Who makes that little heart like that? Okay, so in my head, as soon as I die cut these, I was like, man, all Swifties everywhere need a card made with these hands, right? I added a little red nail polish. So now when you make a card, you get a card that's like the perfect card for a little Swiftie, which I have a couple friends and nieces that are Swifties. So I was super excited about this when I put this together because that is awesome. So just FYI, if you have friends, if you have little girls in your life, if who needs a fun card, you can totally make them a Taylor Swift card with these hands. Just throwing that out there. Here is an idea of how you can take the card design we're going to use tonight and make it into an A2 size card. So my idea is that the hands are going to look like they're holding the flowers like this, right? So they're like this, but we're just going to fill in those little pieces so it looks like they're holding them, like holding the flowers, like holding a bunch of flowers. You could also do them in such a way that, you know, if you had flowers with stems, you could put the stems down so it looks like they're holding. We also had one of our design team members make a card that looks like they're holding coffee and a donut, which is so cute. So yeah, these little heart hands are pretty versatile and fun. But I was really just excited when I made that one card because I have two nieces that are huge Taylor Swift fans, and I have one of my friends who's older. She just had a baby shower, and her whole baby shower was Taylor Swift themed. Not kidding you. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh man, I love that idea. Okay, let's grab our pattern papers because I want to choose a background for my card today. So we're doing a 6x6 card, and I do like, yes. Alex says, oh, Swiftie is a reference to Taylor Swift. Yes, people who are fans of Taylor Swift call themselves Swifties. I am not a Taylor. I mean, I don't mind her. She's totally fine with her. But I'm not a huge fan. I just pick up stuff from my friends and my nieces. So yes, Taylor Swift fans are called Swifties. Ellen says, oh, Sarah, you're definitely my kind of crafter with those inky fingers. Yep. If they're clean, I'm not having fun. That's just the rules. My hands are all kinds of colors all the time. So let's pick what color should we use or background. Why don't we do one of these? Like these are really cool. For the background of our card today. I don't think I like the green. I like the teal. I don't really like the yellow. Let's do the teal. So should we do light teal or dark teal, do you guys? You can have an opinion. I know. Alex says, pink. Alex is definitely music outside my wheelhouse. Yep. I know what your wheelhouse is. Penny, that's so funny. Penny says, I wasn't a Swiftie, but she is dating a great tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. So we see her often when watching the football game. From what I have seen, you're going to continue to see her at the football games. So do we want light or dark? Let me know. I'm going to let you guys decide. First one to type it and hit send wins. Yes, you win. Dark. Dark it is. We got one. So you could do the 6x6 and you could put it right on your card front and you would be great. Just like that. It would cover the whole front. I like a white border. That's just my personal preference. So I'm going to do 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I get a little bit of that white around the edge. And I'm just going to do 2 sides. And then I will have a 1/8 inch strip or a 1/8 inch border around, which will be perfect. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and get our hands. You can see I made lots of hands when I was die cutting. I die cut hands, lots of them. So I like my hands when they look like they're coming in and these little pieces are trimmed off. That's a personal preference. I do want them to be I want the thumbs to be even because the thumbs will be seen. This part of our hands, we're going to cover those up. Alex says, thanks for outing her in public, but I don't remember what I said that would have outed her in public unless it was the music thing. But I mean, I'm leaving my fingers on my hand open. I did not adhere them down. I'm just adhering the wrists because I want to be able to put these pretty flowers and kind of fill in. And then I want to be able to take these flowers and see, then we can tuck them under the thumbs so you can still see that, you know, we have hands and they're holding flowers. And then we can layer the flowers up. And I'm just putting glue on or tape runner on the middle of the flowers because that way we can layer them on top of each other. And also we can kind of squish up the little flower petals and get fun dimension and different things. So we're going to start with the flowers and then we're going to come in with the leaves. Pop them in. And then we can start to talk about weaving strips and how we're going to put on our sentiment for tonight's card. I am cutting some of my leaves apart, and this pretty fabric paper will just, the fiber paper, it will just cut with scissors. But some of these are a little long. Like I really like behind the flowers, these are my favorite shape for the leaves, but it's very long. So by cutting it just a little bit, I can go ahead and manipulate them into place a little bit better because they're a little shorter and the little pieces that I really like can be there. So I really like the idea down here of maybe just cutting off one so that the little leaves kind of come out from the bottom and around her little thumb. I think that looks really cute. You could do these little hands in any color you want. You can make them more masculine by doing the nails in a like more flesh color. You could have bright hot pink nails. You could do anything you want. Again, I did red only because I was really feeling the Taylor Swift vibe. That was where my brain was at while I was creating and making these little hands and the cards. So. Giving everything a good push down, just in the centers. I just want the centers adhered. I don't care if the little petals fly free. And we definitely cut too many leaves, but that's okay. So I think we're ready for our sentiment down here at the bottom. Oh, Alex said regarding my music, I didn't comment anything about your music. I didn't out you. I didn't tell people what you listen to, even though I know. It was very nice. I would never out anybody's musical preferences. Look at mine. Goodness. Okay. So there we go. And then we can just cut off the hands and it'll look like the hands coming in. And remember I said I wanted to look like your hands were going like this with just the less like this and more kind of like this, which is what we've been able to kind of achieve. You can kind of see in here, and if I really, really cared a lot and wanted to cover up more, I could cover up more over here, but I feel like this is good. So the next part of our bundle for tonight is the UR stamp set. So this is super cute. So the top has this scripty UR, and then there is like so many adjectives here. So I'll read them off to you. It says strong, beautiful, brave, courageous, smart, enough, magnificent, brilliant, radiant, powerful, everything, vibrant, special, significant, needed, and superb. For tonight's card, I'm going to use enough because I have a friend in mind to get this card. And she is a single mom. So I feel like that is a very good sentiment for her. So weaving strips are these lovely little strips of white cardstock. And they are perfect for sentiments on cards. So if you are someone who tends to take your big 8.5 by 11 sheets of white cardstock and like cut them down to make sentiment strips, these weaving strips are a great alternative. There are also sentiment strips. The weaving strips are a little thicker, which is perfect for tonight's card because you can take, I'm going to be able to take this whole stamp set and then I can center my sentiment like in the middle. Okay. See, just like that. So I'm going to cut this in half so it is 6 inches long and then it'll fit all the way across the card base. Trust me, you have to have like nieces. Yeah, there's the weaving strips. These are pretty awesome. The other thing, okay, so a couple of out of the box thinking with regard to these. Because if you have ever watched my personal YouTube channel, you know that at my heart, I'm a scrapbooker. So when I look at these, the first thing that I think of is using a border punch. Like I love my little notebook punch, and I love nothing better than punching the edge of a sheet of paper. And usually I'm using like a 12 by 12 sheet of paper or a scrap, right? So you can, but this would be perfect. This weaving strip will be perfect to punch a border for a scrapbook page and not have to cut into a big sheet of paper to do it. That was the first thing I thought of when I saw these. So if you are a scrapbooker, that might be, this would be a really, really handy thing to have, because how often do you want to create a scrapbook page with a border? And you just need like a little strip and you're stuck like cutting into a huge piece of paper. So for tonight's lovely scrapbook or card making project, we are going to do a couple things. First of all, I'm going to attempt. I have 2 of these, so I have two times to do it. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to check on something else. So we're going to go with You Are Enough, and I am going to make an attempt with free range stamping tonight. And also, I wanted to use the Simple Blend ink pad, but I don't think they're back in stock, are they? So then I have to go find a black. Okay. Because I was thinking the Simple Blend would look really nice, but I don't think that's safe. So I have to open a new Raven ink so we can do black. And yep, free range stamping tonight. Because my Misty is still packed. Okay. So here is, we're just going to do Raven Detail Black ink. I'd be living on the edge with free range stamping. Yeah, this isn't bad though. I mean, we just have a small little canvas, line it, you know, I have my glass board with all the little measurements. I can line it right up. And then I'm actually going to kind of go off to here a little bit. So it's not straight on. You could definitely do it straight on, but I don't trust myself to get it directly in the middle. So I'd rather have it intentionally off center than off. And yeah, look, I can do this. Everyone take a deep breath in. Ready? I'm gonna get my head in the way. I'm either going to do it right and we'll be good, or I'll do it off and we'll have to flip the weaving strip over. Ta-da! So there is our title. And we can just put it right down here across. Actually, you know what? Okay, let's do a test here. See what we think. Can do that, and then we have these teeny tiny little leaves, so we can put 2 of them kind of over here, and then do we have a third one? Indeed. Then we can put one over here to kind of accent our little. Another added thing you could do, I'm not going to do it tonight, but you could definitely add little gems to the inside. of the centers of your flowers. Oh, I'm missing the conversation because I'm too busy tape running. Hold on a second. Oh, we do have them. Okay, so now I want to restamp it. What time is it? You guys don't care for a little late, right? Just a little bit. Just long enough for me to grab my Simple Blend and restamp the sentiment. We can do it. I have faith in us. Because honestly, this looks just fine. But I think it would match so much better if it was in shades of blue and green to match the rest. And we have this Simple Blend in stock, which is a tricolor ink pad. Super pretty. So we're going to be just a little bit late because we're going to do it the right way. Right. Alex says those strips mean you can have as many as you need. That's right. Ellen asks, is that the new Tim Holtz glass mat or one from Glass Mat Studio? Mine is from Glass Board Studio. Is that what you mean? Ellen, my mat's from Glass Board Studio. Yeah, they have all different kinds. I really love just a nice white bottom. We're doing it because I think it will, in my head, I just think it will look so much nicer. So this one goes, this tricolor ink blot has green and blue and purple. And I'm going to try to keep it up here to where the green and the blue is because we haven't done, I mean, there's maybe little like in between shades of purple, but we don't have a lot of purple. So I don't want, I just want to do the two middle. I'm going to go over here. So one thing I can tell you about free range stamping, one of the best ways to get a good impression is not a lot of pressure, but to let the mat rest on, or let your acrylic block rest on your paper. But look at that. Like, doesn't that look so cool? And then when you put it here on the card, like that looks so much better to my eye anyway, to have instead of the black. Yes. Ellen says the color of your mat is restful to the eyes. Yeah. I figure I'm putting so much color here. Like I'm recording it and I'm creating with color that we need something calming here. And I stuck all this. Of course I did. All right. And there we go. And then we can pull in this Simple Blend card. I really, really like that. the color instead of the black. So. Thank you. Alex says that's perfect. So there is our card for tonight. So pretty. I hope that my light is catching the way that that ink looks, because it's so cool. Like, it goes from green to blue, and it's effortless and seamless. So there you have it. And I'll grab the other 2 cards that I made with this kit, as long as they're right here. Oh, Ellen, grab your weaving strips and use them. And here are the 2 other cards that I made. So this is the same idea, but just on a smaller scale. So if you want to do a smaller card, you could. And then there is that other one. There. Oh, good. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you again next Monday. Have a great night. Create your own ending. You don't, we did that here tonight. We took, the hand die. We created Taylor Swift hands. We made our textured flowers with the fiber paper. So I hope if you got this thunder, you will have a ton of fun with all the cool stuff you can do with it. Talk to you again. Bye, Heather. Bye, Penny. See you all later.